In Varanasi, I realized the crucial need for dedicated church workers, not just converts.
It's the capital of Hinduism. Ganges River is in Varanasi. We were able to have a little tour in that river. About 23,000 temples are in the city of Varanasi alone. 23,000 temples. Can you just imagine that? Hindu capital of the world. The first day we got there, the missionary told us that the goal of our mission trip is not evangelism, but producing the workers. So at first, I didn't know what he was saying. I'm here to have people to say yes to Jesus, baptize them. I said, no, the goal is to make workers. I was having a conversation with the state coordinator of Varanasi. And I said, how many churches do you have in Varanasi? He said 19. And I was very disappointed. 19? This is a big city. In 6 days, our small team planted 23 house churches. But this is what he said. He said, yeah, whenever you guys come and plant house churches, but about 6 months, people stop meeting because there's no workers to take care of these new church plants. I cannot do all 19 by myself. That convicted me. Wow. In 6 days, I planted 23 churches, but that 23 house churches is not going to be taken care of. What we needed was not just house churches, but the workers who can take care of these house churches, encouraging the new believers to be bold and be courageous because they're going to be receiving persecution from their neighborhoods, family, and others. Every time we ministered to pastors that week, my heart broke because these pastors were living in fear. They had a lot of doubts. And they were listening nothing but lies from the evil one. I was able to really see the work of the evil one is so strong in such a city like Varanasi. They were desperately in need of this shepherd who can shepherd them, encourage them, helping them, don't give up. And these pastors are very new believers. They've been believers for only a year or two. I saw thousands worshiping Hindu gods in Ganges River. We had a hard time even getting 30 people to come to our meeting. Yet there were thousands on the water worshiping. And I said, how many times do they worship? They said twice a day, every day. Thousands come all over the world. I was like, wow, God, it is true that missionaries are right. It's not about just the converts. It's not just about counting baptisms, but we need to help these new converts to be discipled, especially like Varanasi. So I got back, and then I was very adamant about going to Varanasi. And I said, God, send me. Send me to India right now. It's a harvest time. Harvest plentiful, workers are few. Somebody could take care of New Life Covenant Church, but I could make hundreds of workers in India right now. Send me. I told my wife, my wife is always supportive when it comes to doing God's work. I said, let's pack. Let's go to Varanasi. And she was like, okay, if that's what God is doing, let's do it. So I was this close to go. Because harvest was plentiful, crazy. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are following different gods. And yet, these Christians are living in fear. And nobody to disciple them, help them, lead them. And I felt like God was saying, June, no, it's not your time yet. But at the same time, he said, from now, you are going to make workers for the kingdom. That's what you are going to focus on. You're not going to focus on getting big church. You're going to make workers and send them out. Harvest plentiful workers of you. And that's what you're going to do. And since 2015, the passion and the focus, determination for making disciples, not caring about how many people come to church, but how many disciples and followers and imitators of Jesus Christ are we going to produce, became my priority. Thank God. God gave me no desire for making our church big. Look, I challenge my friends, instead of asking how many people you have in the church, let's ask how many disciples do you have in the church? Let's count those. I don't want 1,000 people in the church, but I want 1,000 disciples. I want 1,000 imitators of Christ. God changed my heart. And since then, our church went after that. For the last 13 years, God showed up. We sent 13 people to YWAM. They were trained and they were in the nations between 6 months and 5 years. 13 of them. Wow. We sent 6 people to seminaries. And they were all lay people when they came to our church. And they all went to seminary or in seminary right now. One church, nearby church 5 minutes away, asked me, Joon, how come you have so many worship leaders? And I said, because we are Asian. We know how to play instruments. We were forced to play instrument when you were young. And then she was very sincere, and she said, you know what, we have a hard time finding musicians in the church. We're a contemporary church. We have a hard time. Is it possible that you could maybe send one person to our church? What good is a one church doing well and the other church don't have any resources? Let's do it. So I asked my church leaders. I asked my worship leaders. And then one of them I asked, and he said, well, Pastor, if I need to go, then I'm going to bring my whole team. I'm not going to go by myself. The team was 10 people. So I said, go then. Make sure that you take care of them. But go. That church all of a sudden became multi-ethnic because it was all white church and then 10 Asians showed up. You know, I got famous from that. The denomination called me. The leaders called me and said, Joon, I heard what you did. You're a small church, like 60 of you, 70 of you. How did you do that? And I said, because we're a kingdom center church. What good is a one church that has a 6 worship leader, and my friend's church has no worship leader, no resources, no band? Of course. We're brothers and sisters. We're allies. We're in a competition. They thought we were like so crazy. But God gave me the desire because He gave me the heart after Varanasi.